Hey Internet, AdoptedMike here, and in this video we're going to take a look at the Cooler Master Silent Pro, or maybe M2 Silent Pro, 620 watt power supply. Take a look at the front of the box here. We see we have some modular cabling, 135 millimeter hydraulic bearing, silent fan. We have 80 plus bronze and an awesome 5-year warranty. Switch over to the side here, we'll see a little bit about the specifications. We have a single 12 volt rail with 50 amps provided, so that right there is awesome. Got some more specifications here. The form factor, 135 millimeter. We've got 100,000 hours MTBF. Some protections there. Dimensions. Efficiency is 85% typical. Then we have our connectors. So we got 4 PCI Express 6 plus 2, so that's awesome. And then we'll swing over to the back, and they have the fan curve, so we can kind of see there how the fan speed kind of ramps up, as opposed, oh I see, yep, that makes sense, as opposed to the loading there. And then we have the efficiency curve in 115 and 230 volts. So definitely this power supply is the most efficient at 50%, which is pretty common amongst power supplies. You're going to get your best efficiency at 50% and beyond, up to that 100. But maybe even in this case, you're looking around 75 is where it starts to really decline down. But it maintains, you know, above 80 the entire time, and above 84 even at 100%. So that is awesome enough. See, we've got copper aluminum heat sinks, and yes, we got the modularized cabling, single 12 volt rail, like we talked about before. So we'll open it up. For starters, we have some foam padding for protection. Then we have a little business card size limited warranty to fill out and send in. We have the installation instructions, which is pretty straightforward for a power supply, but nonetheless it could help someone. We've got 4 screws there, and let's see what we've got going on here with this. So take that out. Okay. Oop. We have some of the modular cabling here. Oh yeah. Okay. We've got 2 6 plus 2 pins here. Yep. There we go. I got it. 2 6 plus 2 pins to add to it. Okay, here's the rest of it. Okay, so we also have a power cord. We have a Molex connector here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Molex connect. Oh, you know what? This is actually 2 different. Let me see if I can get this opened up here real quick. We've got 2 different. There we go. There, this makes more sense. So we have one here that has 1, 2, and a floppy Molex, and then the second one will have the 3. It's got from there a nice long run, and we have 1, 2, 3. So we got the nice black cabling here, no sleeving, but it still has the flat look, and it should work out quite nice for most people's builds. Now we'll move into the Sata connectors, and for starters here we have 1, and it comes through. We've got 1, 2, 3 connectors there. We have a second one that has 1, 2, 3 connectors, and then we have a third one that is the same, 1, 2, 3 connectors, and then back to the plug to the power supply. So plenty of power connectivity there. So now let's get down to the power supply. It feels pretty heavy. It feels like there's good components in here. Typically, from what I found, is when they have some heft to them, they're usually a pretty well built power supply. So if you're installing it on the top or the bottom of your case with the fan pointing down, you see this. If you install it with the fan pointing up, unfortunately you see that. So that's too bad, but what do you do? On the top side we have the specifications again there, and then on the back we have a power plug there. We have a on-off switch and the standard honeycomb design with the 135mm fan right there. So we'll take a look at the back. We have all of the peripheral connectors there at the bottom, these 5-pin ones. So there's 5 there, and then we have the 6+2-pin PCI Express extra ones there, so for 2 more of them. And you know what, actually I think I may have made another mistake, but let's check. We'll get a little further here. Okay, we've got our 24-pin that is sleeved all the way up to close to the end, the last 4 inches or so. It's kind of a loosely densed sleeving. The same with the 4+4, which would split there. It's kind of a loose, dense sleeving. And then this the 4+4 may not be long enough if you have a really tall case. So if you have a really tall case, I would recommend looking at a extension if you want to run it behind the motherboard tray. They can be picked up pretty cheap, but that 4+4 doesn't feel like it's got a lot of length to it. And so then we come over to here. Yep, okay, I did make a mistake. So these 2 plug into the motherboard, and each one offers, there we go, 2 6+2 on each one. In the beginning I thought it went from 1 to 1, but it goes from 1 to 2. So it's kind of handy in a way, because you've got 1 plug running and you can plug 2 right into a graphics card if the graphics card takes 2. And then, what if I keep hitting the camera, knock it over. And then we have the second one, which does the same thing. 1 turns into 2. So that, and this cabling is the same, the flat cabling all the way through. Very easily bendable, should route very nicely as well too. Even these cables are, you know, they bend fairly easy, like a standard cable would. So anyway, pretty you know, standard setup at this point for a semi-modular power supply. Feels pretty good. And yeah, anyway, that wraps up my unboxing and look at the Cooler Master M2 Silent Pro 620 watt power supply. And as always, thank you for watching.